What's up guys, Chicks here from Chicks Tech Reviews. So I've been using the Nokia 8.3 5G for the last 5 days. Now this is the official phone for the upcoming 007 movie No Time to Die. So I guess the hype for the film is going to generate some possible interest for this smartphone, especially for the 007 fans out there like myself. So the phone has some pretty decent features and specs for the money, and I will put the specs up on the screen so you guys can have a quick read. So it's priced $499 for a 5G smartphone featuring the current popular mid-range chipset, the Snapdragon 765, along with 6 gigs of RAM and 64 gigs of internal storage. Now 64 gigs does feel on the lower side, especially after installing games, downloading movies and shooting lots of 4K videos, but fortunately there is a micro SD card slot, so you can expand the storage by up to 400 gigs. Now build quality of the phone is quite good. You've got a metal frame going all the way around, and on the back you have a glass finish. Now colour of the phone is also quite nice. It's got this greeny blue two-tone effect going on, and Nokia's calling this the polar shade, and I believe this is the only colour available. But I will admit I do actually like this colour and design, although there is no Gorilla Glass protection and it's actually 2.5D scratch resistant. I've been using it all this time without a case, and I'm happy to say that there are no marks or scratches anywhere on the phone, but you may see a lot of fingerprints. Now speaking of fingerprints, you've got a fingerprint sensor built in to the power button. Now this phone also supports Face Unlock, however the fingerprint sensor is slightly faster than the Face Unlock, so I find myself preferring to use the faster option. Now the phone itself is quite large in size. It's 9mm thick and weighs 220 grams, so it's quite big and weighty, but you're also getting a big screen display at 6.81 inches IPS with a 20:9 aspect ratio, and it's a full HD plus display. Now there are no issues with the brightness. You're getting a decent sharp screen, although it is only 60Hz display. The colors do pop with sharp images, and that massive display is great to watch videos on. Also, the pure display feature is amazing and works really well. It is also already switched on by default, and it dynamically enhances everything by automatically adjusting the color, contrast and brightness according to what you are doing, and it even upscales SDR content to HDR. Now the bezels are quite thin going all the way around, but you have a slightly more noticeable chin where they've slapped the Nokia logo on top. So the size and the weight is there, but you are getting a 4500 mAh battery, and the battery performance is actually quite good. So I managed to get a solid 1 day of heavy usage with lots of gaming, YouTube streaming, filming lots of 4K videos and using it as a sat nav with Waze in my car. Now I managed a full day with around 20% left before I went to sleep, and achieved around 6 to 7 hours of screen on time. And with medium to light usage, this phone can easily last you 2 days. Now the phone is running stock Android 10 on the Android One program, so that means you're getting 2 years of Android updates guaranteed, with Android 11 dropping very soon. Now performance wise, you can do everything on this smartphone. The Snapdragon 765G has proven itself to be a very capable mid-range chip, allowing you to play any game from the App Store on medium to high settings with no performance issues or lag. Now one main annoyance is the dedicated Google Assistant button on the left. It's just not needed. It reminds me of Samsung's Bixby button, and I always end up accidentally pressing it and bringing up the Google Assistant. Now you can disable the button from settings, but you cannot reassign another app. So basically, waste of a button. And a lot of times when you take this phone out of your pocket, instead of going for the fingerprint sensor, a lot of times you can end up pressing the Google Assistant button to activate the screen. So I guess that is something you're going to have to get used to. Now a few good points. We've got NFC, so support for Google Pay. Google Widevine Level 1 is supported, so you can watch your Netflix in HD quality. And you are getting a hybrid SIM card tray, so dual nano SIM cards or one nano SIM card and one micro SD card up to 400 gigs. So very nice to have that expansion option. And you're also getting a 3.5mm headphone jack at the bottom. Good job, Nokia. Now here is another issue I found. You have a single loudspeaker at the bottom. It's loud and clear, but unfortunately it sounds like the treble is very overpowering, with literally no mids or lows, no bass at all, and there is no way to adjust the sounds from settings, and I'll give you guys a taste of that sound.
That's all I think about. From the moment I wake up in the morning to the moment...
And another thing I'm quite surprised about is they're branding this as the 007 smartphone, but we don't have any 007 wallpapers built in, so I'm quite surprised that they didn't take advantage of that opportunity they had. Now here's the thing, you can get similar spec phones like the OnePlus Nord and the Pixel 4a and many others for under £400. Poco X3 offers a 120Hz display and it's a lot cheaper than this phone. So Nokia might have slightly overpriced this phone, but maybe the 007 aspect might be the reason for that price. Another small issue I had at the start when I was testing this device is the ultra brightness would sometimes forget to kick in. It will leave me with a dim display whilst I'm out and about. Now, having said that, a few days ago, a firmware update has fixed this issue, so I'm no longer getting that issue, but I thought I'd mention it anyway. Now, this phone has 4 cameras on the back with PureView Zeiss optics, which sounds very promising. You have a 64 megapixel main sensor, a 12 megapixel wide angle lens, and a 2 megapixel portrait, and a 2 megapixel macro. And on the front we have a 24 megapixel selfie camera, which is now hidden because I changed the wallpaper, but if I just swipe up you can see it there in the corner, a hole punch camera. And it's quite a small lens and I'm liking this trend.
And we are shooting 2K at 60 frames per second. Front facing camera, and this is an outdoor audio test.
So camera is decent, nothing special here. Photos taken in daylight with good lighting look bright and sharp with great color balance. Shutter speed is actually pretty quick. 2 megapixel macro lens and depth sensor seems like a waste of time. Both of those lenses don't achieve good results. The wide angle lens and the primary lens can take decent looking photos in good lighting situations. Now low light is where this camera fails to impress. Yes, night mode will only slightly improve things. Overall, you're not going to get a good low light experience. Now 4K videos at 30 frames per second look okay, I suppose, but the image stabilization is not quite there. You can also take 4K at 24 frames per second cinema videos. You get that wide cinema aspect ratio, and again the video quality looks okay, but the stabilization is not as smooth as you would have liked. So my overall experience was generally good. The phone does many things right for a budget mid-range smartphone. However, do bear in mind it is a bulky smartphone. Both 2 megapixel sensors, the macro and depth, are quite bad. There is no IP rating and the single speaker quality at the bottom is not that good. Now that being said, you are getting a decent metal and glass build quality. You're getting a great battery life, great software, okay mediocre cameras, decent overall package. It will certainly do the job, but don't expect Apple-like premiumness for $499. But maybe the current Nokia special offer could sweeten the deal. Now you can get £100 worth of goodies completely free with this phone right now, which includes these Nokia Power Buds, true wireless stereo earbuds, and this is what they look like. So you can get the Nokia Power Buds completely free when you pick up the Nokia 8.3 5G. So I will leave the links in the description for you guys to check out. So that is what I thought. Let me know what your thoughts are. What do you guys think of the Nokia 8.3 5G? Do you think it's worth the money? Are you a fan of 007 or Daniel Craig? Would that make you buy this phone? Do let me know in the comments. Meanwhile, I will leave the links in the description so you guys can check this product out. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you all have a brilliant day. I'll see you guys in the next one.